You have the floor.
Mr. President, in fact, there were very good comments. Sometimes a bit of bitey language has been used by some of the Western colleagues in here. I would like to have your permission to ask one of the members of my delegation, Mr. Raeis Sadati, a very experienced judge, who will answer some of these questions. Mr. Sadati.
In the name of God, the Islamic Republic of Iran is among the countries with advanced mechanisms for the adjudication of legal disputes in line with the realization of justice and in accordance with the Constitution and the laws. In addition, there exist various methods for supervision and ensuring of their proper implementation. According to Articles 156 and 157 of the Constitution, the judiciary, as an independent branch of government, is tasked with safeguarding the personal and social rights of the people. The principles governing the judicial system of Iran are aimed at the implementation of the law and elimination of all forms of injustice and discrimination without regard for gender, religion, or race. These include open court hearings, the requirement that verdicts be based on articles of the law and be issued by judges, the requirement that the crime and its punishment be explicitly recognized as such in the law, the non-retroactive implementation of penal laws, the assumption of innocence and equality before the law, which are Articles 19 to 43 of the Constitution. According to Article 24 of the Law of Criminal Procedure, in cases of explicit crimes, the police may hold the suspect in custody for a maximum of 24 hours, after which he must be brought before juge d'instruction with judicial office, where, in case the reasons for the accusation are established, the judge will issue bail. In cases of heavy and serious crimes, where the law stipulates temporary detention, the order is issued by juge d'instruction with judicial office, and the accused or his attorney have the right to appeal the decision within 10 days from its issuance, where the case is sent to the competent court. As is indicated, the law is fully in concord with legal standards, and many civil law countries adhere to the same procedure. Thus, in cases of serious crimes, the order of temporary detention is reviewed by 3 judges. With regard to the right to the Baha'is, according to Article 19 of the Constitution, all Iranian citizens enjoy equal rights, and color and race constitute no immunity. A number of religions are considered as official religions. Baha'is are not one of these religions, but they enjoy citizenship rights. The leaders they claim about the expelling of some of these students is limitations against some of these Baha'i University students have nothing to do with their religious beliefs. This limitation is because they have failed to meet the entrance requirements to the university, and the fact that they have been members of an illegal cult with anti-human rights activities. The illegal demonstrations on the day of Ashura, where illegal acts were carried out, such as defamation of sanctities and the Constitution of the Islamic Republic and the destruction of public property. Some were arrested in this connection, and the investigations showed that 13 of them are Baha'is. 3 of them had light roles, and therefore they were released. The rest, like the rest of the arrestees, are being investigated currently. In the Islamic Republic of Iran, there are reasonable conditions for prisoners based on the implementing regulation of the prison's organization, the dignity of the prisoners having access to attorneys, regular meetings with family members, segregation of prisoners based on age and gender, access to information and health facilities, prohibition of all forms of harassments, regular leaves and occasional leaves are given to prisoners. It should be noted that Iranian prisons have been inspected by many international groups. The prisons organization has had constructive cooperation with similar and international organizations, and through exchange of experiences has signed many agreements. The organization has also been awarded an award in the 5th ICPI conference. In Iran, various human rights training programs are held for prison managers from throughout the country. Also, the prisoners have access to high school education, and also those who wish to continue their education through distance university programs. Although solitary confinement has not been completely eliminated in all countries, in Iran we are making efforts to eliminate solitary cells or to expand them to 11 square meters. Although the implementation of certain sentences may seem unpleasant on first sight, but social conditions at times require their implementation. With regard to execution, given that execution is recognized in the international law and in the legal system of many countries, and according to Note 2 of Article 6 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the sentence of execution is permissible in case of most serious crimes. The Islamic Republic of Iran considers execution as permissible only in the above cases and after due process, presence of attorneys, and a multi-stage process which includes reviews by the Supreme Court. In addition, the geographic location of the country and security threats against it posed by armed professional drug traffickers, together with the 44th increase in production of narcotics in Afghanistan after its occupation by foreign forces, have compelled the Islamic Republic of Iran to embark on a campaign against these armed traffickers and the transit of these narcotics to Europe through Iranian soil. A campaign which has resulted in thousands of Iranian martyrs. In fact, a large number of executions carried out in Iran relate to these cases. از آنجایی که تعدادی از
a lot of sensitivity about Baha'is. I should say no Baha'i in Iran is prosecuted because he is a Baha'i. And there are about 200 students, Baha'i students at universities. There are plenty of big firms and companies owned by Baha'is in Iran. The sensitive area is a cult type of activity. Cult means that a group that people can enter into that, but they cannot get out by their will. It is against our law. Even cults based on Shiite thinking are forbidden by law, and they are pursued. So Baha'is are pursued in Tehran through legal structure are those who are indulged in cult type of activity. Cult type of activity is against all the basic human rights of the people. And I wish those countries who presented, and they are presenting this much sensitivity about Baha'is, at least a percentage of that was exposed about the Palestinian people and people in Gaza. Now, Mr. President, if you permit me, I would like to ask Dr. Abbaszadeh. He is the Director General, Minister of Interior. He will speak about the recent election in Iran. Thank you very much.
Bismillah ar-Rahman.
In the name of God, the Islamic Republic of Iran is a democratic system rooted in Islamic values and ideology. Provisions and the spirit of our Constitution reiterate that all affairs of the state shall be decided by the vote of the people. Within the last 3 decades, more than 32 elections were held whereby more than 500 million votes determined the destiny and formation of numerous parliaments and governments from all political parties with different orientations. More than 40 million people, comprising an absolute majority of the ballot holders, cast their votes on June 12, 2009 to choose their preferred candidates among 4 final candidates running for presidential elections. Vote cast during the recent presidential election turned it into an exemplary exhibition of democracy and freedom. Cast ballots were meticulously collected and counted through direct participation of more than 650,000 trusted observers and the representative legal and official inspectors in more than 45,000 voting polls both in Iran and abroad. Around 90,000 independent observers representing the 4 presidential candidates also constantly supervised the collection and counting of the ballots, whose results disintegrated by polling stations were duly published in the press. In line with the provisions of the Constitution, the July election, bearing the high vote of people, finally led to legal establishment of the 10th government. Legitimate protests are post facto symptoms of free and democratic elections around the globe. The repercussions of the July election, however, vindicated the ill intentions of the foreign powers seeking their suspicious causes by meddling with our internal affairs. Being committed to respond to the legitimate protests of the defeated candidates, the Islamic Republic of Iran addressed them all through different legal procedures, and the respective supervisory bodies finally ruled for their inadmissibility. Dealing with the vast and unprecedented insurgencies following the July election, the pertinent courts heard the cases of the arrested lawbreakers and insurgent agents and those bringing heavy losses to public and private properties on their merits. All cases were duly addressed in competent courts openly, and the defendants had access to their chosen lawyers. The high-ranking judiciary officials also meticulously examined all allegations pertaining to the breach of citizenry rights and most scrupulously held the complaints lodged with them for even the alleged minor illegal treatments against the detainees. The 10th presidential election in Iran mirrored the efforts of a sovereign nation for an inalienable free election, its integrity and its commitment to principles of democracy and the rule of law. It also demonstrated our people's dedication to strive against the malicious breach of law and the subversive foreign interventions. The endorsement of the international society of the campaign, the Iranian nation, would ultimately lead to discontinuation of foreign interventions in similar cases in other corners of the globe. Let us all strive for the respect for democracy in free and independent world and ensure the integrity of the vote of the majority in foreign states. At this juncture, I wish to underscore the commitment of the Islamic Republic of Iran for the promotion and protection of the human rights in Iran in practice. Freedom of public assemblies. Article 24 and 27 of the Constitution of the Islamic Republic provide for the freedom of speech and public assemblies. Relevant statistics show that on average more than 5,000 public demonstrations, marches and assemblies are held annually in Iran by different political parties and trade unions. Article 6 of the laws pertaining to the activities of the political parties requires obtaining the permission for holding legal assembly so as to ensure the safety of the participating people. In Iran, presently more than 250 parties enjoying different political tendencies are registered with the Ministry of Interior and are actively participating in political and social spheres. To ensure the respect for citizenship rights, the President has also personally decreed for the establishment of the Committee for the Protection of the Citizenship Rights under the Minister of Interior in 2008. Some of the allegations brought against the violation of the human rights activists in Iran relate to those legally accused of crimes such as terrorist activities, espionage, the spread of ethnic and racial hatred, and bigotry. Seeking asylum under the coverage of legitimate human rights activities and enjoying the protection thereto, terrorists and insurgent agents shall knowingly block the way to combat spreading fatal terrorism international. It is common knowledge that none of the human rights resources and mechanisms ever allows the freedom of speech on its other relevant means to be deployed for the spread of hatred and violence. Thank you.